said there is a different before asking the question I wanted to clarify that Quran is an evidence for logic, but it doesn't need logic to say that Quran is right. Why I'm saying this, because I wanted to say that you might sometimes don't have the answer, like when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he was asked what is the best land on earth, he said la ادري. And as many ulama said that la ادري is a fatwa by itself. What if Dr. Dhakir faced a question that he didn't find an answer? I never saw you not having the right answer, or you didn't face difficult answering, let's say. What if one day you didn't have the answer? Would you say la ادري?
The first point to be noted is that never judge Islam by looking at Dr. Zakir. I always said my answer that if you want to judge Islam, look at the Quran and the Sahih Hadith. And the example I always give, that if you want to judge how good the latest Mercedes car, that is SEL 600 2017, how good is it? And if you put behind the steering wheel a person who doesn't know how to drive, and he has accident and he bangs up the car, who will you blame? The car or the driver? But naturally the driver.
Yes.
If you really want to know how good the car is, you have to look at the specification, at what are the safety measures, what is the pickup, what is the gear ratio, does it have an anti-braking lock system, and so on and so forth. And if you really want to test drive the car, put behind the steering wheel a person who is an expert in driving. Similarly, if you want to judge Islam, look at the Quran, the Sahih Hadith, and the best exemplary Muslim is Prophet Muhammad. As far as the question is concerned that what will happen if I don't know the answer?
Yes.
Point to be noted that if you know Ahmad bin Hanbal, may Allah have mercy on him, he was a great scholar, he was a great imam. When about more than 40 questions were asked to him, he did not reply to most of them, only two. And he said, this is what. So what you have to realize, that if a person doesn't know the answer, that does not mean he's a scholar. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. But you have to realize the difference between a faqih, or a person who gives fatwa, and a da'i. The difference is that a person who is asked a fatwa, he has to really give the answer in black and white. We as a da'i, when I give a lecture on Quran and modern science, for example, I study all the verses of the Quran dealing with science, I do my research, and I have a list of maybe 200 questions that can be asked on it. I'm prepared. I know my portion. So when about 20 questions are asked, 19 are already from my list. So that's the reason you see me giving references. I'm not Hafiz al-Quran. I do my homework. There are questions which are asked the first time in my life. For example, the question on Iqra.
Yes.
And I didn't know the answer, but Allah helped me. So many.
If not, let's say if you didn't have the
Yes, I'll come to it.
Good.
I'll come to it. So number one is I do my homework.
You don't like interrupting.
No problem.
This is what you do when people ask you. But now I'm not in another debate.
No.
I can ask whenever I want.
Sure, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. I'll come to it. The thing is that because my homework is done, normally because I've seen most of the most common questions that can come from the Quran, Hadith. If I'm giving a talk on women's rights in Islam, I do research on women, all the verses I try and do my homework. Yet there have to be questions which are not known. Out of those questions which are not known, Alhamdulillah, most of the time Allah helps. There are certain questions that I've answered maybe 100 times, and no one has counter questioned. And somebody counter questions it and I'm stuck. I'll give you one more example. Always give the famous answer if you know the answer, of course you'll be knowing, about the hijab. The two twin sisters are equally beautiful. One is wearing the Islamic hijab, the other the Western clothes, and they're walking down the streets. Who will a hooligan tease? A person wearing short skirt or a low neck? The answer is but natural person wearing the Western clothes. Now one lady in Dubai said, the man will tease the one wearing the hijab. And I said, why? Because you like to see what is inside behind. And my daughter in the audience said, Khalas, now Abba is stuck. And no one. So there's one logic that is there. Many a times you agree with your opponent and use their force to put them down. It's one of the logics of taekwondo, karate, martial arts. So I told, sister, I don't agree with you. But if I agree with your argument that the person would teach the girl wearing clothes because you like to know what's behind the clothes, then why are you wearing clothes? Why don't you take out your clothes? And she was shocked. I said, actually, you're only saying something which you don't believe in. If you believed in that, then why are you wearing clothes? You should walk without clothes. So sometimes we have to use mantik and logic. Now coming to your question that, what if Dr. Zakir Naik doesn't know? As I told you, as a da'i, because with the homework we know most of it, many times Allah helps. And many a times we try, even though many a times I may know that the answer is not 100%, I try and give a close answer. But that happens rarely, rarely. Close answer so that the people on the opposite side, that I'm da'i, I'm not giving a fatwa on Islam. But surely if it's something which is not related, for example, if they ask me something about engineering, or if they ask me a question which is not related to my field. So I say that you call a heart specialist and you're asking him a question on common cold. So when sometimes people ask me questions which are unrelated, so I make it a point to tell them that I am specialized in Islam and comparative religion. Don't ask me questions outside the field. And sometimes they may ask me questions in the field. At that time, because being a da'i, I try and give a logical reply, because many a times a non-Muslim, he doesn't understand the concept of Islam.
Yes.
That it is not that we know everything.
But let me interrupt you and ask you this question. Muhammad is a da'iya too.
Of course.
And
he's a messenger of Allah.
And
the messenger of Allah.
Yes, you're right.
There's a world of a difference being a da'i and a messenger and the normal da'i.
صحيح. لكن he also replied with la ادري.
Of course.
So
100%.
I want to hear that. So do you think that it's okay to say la ادري when it's a question?
If you don't know at all, best to say. When I train my students, I tell them, if you don't know the answer, better say I don't know rather than put your foot in the mouth.
Right.
That is the reason I tell that if a question is there which is not in my field, I say this is not my field at all.
I'm so broken, my wounds are open, my life is frozen, I need your help, 'cause people always let me down, I'm losing all my air right now, I'm suffocating, I might drown, I need your help, I don't wanna fight no more, I don't wanna fight this war. Oh na na, oh na na, oh na na na. Astaghfirullah. Forgive me, Allah.